Okay, so it's sharp 6 a.m. and we are here. We are here with episode number 2 of our Carving Your Legacy journey. So good morning to Rakesh sir, good morning to Tinku ma'am. Again, we all know the only reason we are here is because we really want to make the most of the journey that we've had so far, and at the same time we also want to make sure that the journey going ahead in terms of 2022, we are literally creating something massive for ourselves. And it's more of, again, identifying in a very strategic pattern, the patterns that we follow and the patterns that we really need to go ahead. Now, just understanding, we started out on from Thursday. Today is Saturday. The weekend is coming up. And this is, again, if you look at it, I think if I'm not too wrong, we just have one more weekend to go. I mean, at the end of this weekend, I think the next weekend will be Christmas, which means literally we just have just this is probably just the penultimate week of 2021. And in this weekend itself, we want to be identifying how we're going to be making the most of it. So here's how it's going to be. We will be identifying, we're going to go crystal clear, first of all, by designing a mindset. A mindset today is all about understanding that mindset, bringing in a lot of awareness into our mindset, and also setting up a few patterns of moving away from the comfort zone. That's what we're going to be installing over the next couple of days, because upcoming Tuesday, Thursday, and of course the upcoming Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and then we have another just a couple of sessions. So basically, if you look at the whole pattern in terms of the dates, I think we got 21st of December, we're going to meet on 23rd, we're going to meet on Christmas Day, and then we meet on 28th and 30th. So we basically got 5 more such sessions that we're going to be installing through. 5 more sessions, meaning we're going to be dividing our 13 categories in these 5 sessions itself. We're going to dive deep into each of the categories as we meet in the subsequent sessions. But right now, today is all about designing that entire mindset. So the first question that I want to ask you is, do you have your journal ready? Do you have your journal ready? Because that's where you're making the notes. That's where you're getting things done. And at the same time, that's where you're installing your system. So today we're going to be identifying a checklist. We're going to nail down a checklist, and we're going to be putting those checklists into consistent practice. Now, this is something that I had learned, I remember, from Tom Bilyeu. For those of you who are not really familiar with him, he's one of the greatest podcasters on the planet. He has conducted interviews with some of the greatest souls on the planet. And the name of his, I'll just show that to you so that you all can just be aware of who he really is. I will just go to YouTube. So see, there are a lot of resources that is going on in our life today. We're going to be carving out those resources and literally using technology to our benefits. Okay, so let's just straight away get into that whole pattern of deciding that. First thing is, you go to YouTube, and in that, if you just type Tom Bilyeu, okay, there you go. This is the man, 2.54 million. And the best part about his journey is that, yeah, Impact Theory. That's the name of his podcast, Impact Theory. When you go to Impact Theory, there you go. You got all these crazy 249 episodes. And in each of these episodes, what happens is, we as people, just one moment. Yeah. So when you look at all these, all these different people, they have been the most successful on the planet. And you get to hear from them. You get to consistently make the most of what the most successful people have done. You watch an episode a day. What happens is you're downloading decades into days. So we want to put ourselves in a process of consistent learning. So today's first agenda, the first thing that we need to write down is the kind of mindset that we want to build. So I'll just type here mindset. Okay. And the mindset begins with, the first is identifying your learning pattern. What are the tools and resources that you are using? Now, yesterday, of course, we had our book community, book club, but yesterday we did not really go through. We'll be doing that episode later for sure. But learning pattern, ideally for me, has to be podcast. This is a form of a podcast itself. I mean, 1 hour you're spending time. It has to be books, okay? And another thing, it has to be courses. So I just showed you I'll probably show that to you today itself, the Teachable and the Udemy hub that I have. You got to understand, you got to ask yourself, what is your learning pattern? What is your learning pattern? How do you plan to make the most of your entire learning pattern? When you identify this, you need to just really crack yourself down that how can I spend at least 1 hour a day? At least 1 hour a day in order to learn, in order to really dive deep, in order to learn something powerful. That's the most critical element of growth. You cannot really go to the next level if you want to stay stagnant in the same zone as you were. So mindset begins by putting yourself away from that comfort zone. You get that head start. Okay. That's the first. The second, okay, I'm just going to first of all give you a couple of resources from where you can actually get started. So I showed you impact theory is the first one. You can write it down, impact theory. The second one, I love this. Okay, it's called as Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu. Wait, let me just put it up in the chat so that you can take a note of it. Impact Theory. Okay, yeah, just one moment. Yeah, there you go. Yes, okay. Okay, Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu. There you go. And second one would be, I'll actually do something more. I will actually share the whole link itself so that it becomes easy for you. Okay, yeah, the second one will be, this one, I love it. It's called Mind Valley Talks. Okay, Mind Valley Talks is a YouTube channel that just got started by this company called as Mind Valley, which is one of the greatest educational platforms on the planet. Now, if you look at this particular channel, I mean, I'll just scroll down. You can see best philosopher Ryan Holiday on conquering your fears, how to balance your masculine, feminine energy. Just goes on and on. Now, if you go to Mind Valley Talks, you will see that there are somewhere around 300 plus videos on the most successful people on the planet giving you strategies. So this is more of like hardcore. This is more like hardcore training. Okay, hardcore training on literally gearing yourself up, on just learning from what the best on the planet do, how have they become successful, and all of those things. Why do we need all this? Here's what I've learned, again, from my mentor, Tony Robbins. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's crazy, right? If you're going to spend time with people who keep complaining, keep crying, you're going to end up being that. If you spend time learning from the best on the planet, you are going to be that. That's the whole process of really identifying how I can make the most of it. So even this particular link, let me just drop this in the chat itself so that you can get hold of the whole thing. So these are my top 2 resources in terms of identifying. You can just go to YouTube and type Mind Valley Talks and you'll get the whole link. Okay. Now, ideally, what I will do is I'm going to go through one episode every single day. I don't really care how busy I am, but I'm going to go through one episode every single day. But that's of course bringing in my mindset. Today, I also want to ask you really, I'm sure you must have done yesterday's work. For those of you who haven't done, I'll just guide you through what we wanted to know yesterday. We wanted to know is the top three questions. What were the specific tools that you want to learn in 2022? What are the tools and courses at your disposal? What are the raw materials that you have? What is your learning schedule, your work schedule, and your recreation? So if you have done all these things hardcore, strong, done, nailed in, today you are much more primed to really get up and do the things that is needed. So now, so in that case, in terms of mindset, again, the second thing that comes together right now is what are my rituals? You know, what are the rituals that puts me out of comfort? What are the things that I am doing that I'm challenging myself day in and day out so that I can be better every single day? So rituals for the first one I remember today morning itself. Today morning, this is crazy what just happened. It was somewhere around 4:57. Now I had kept the alarm just to sleep a little extra. I'd kept the alarm at 5:30 a.m. But at 4:57 a.m. sharp, my eyes are wide up awake. I'm checking my phone and I'm absolutely astounded to see that I've actually woken up before the alarm timing that I had put in. You see how the brain is functioning? The brain is aware that, okay, it's not just because I have to conduct this session, but I also need to pump myself up to be in a position to be in peak state so that when I am literally learning, I'm going 100% strong. So that's what you would want yourself to be in. What is the comfort zone that I put myself out? I took some cold water and I splashed it on my face. That itself is going to take me to the next level. After this particular call, I'm going to go for a jog, which means right now I'm pushing myself a little bit more. When I'm pushing myself more, I'm coming back, I'm taking bath and cold shower. Can you imagine the kind of discomfort the entire body and mind is going to go through? It's crazy, especially with this. It's cold in India right now, but you are still pushing yourself. So what are your out of comfort zones? You need to identify that. Okay. And then the third thing, when it comes to mindset, this is another big one. This, in fact, I got this from one of my mentees just yesterday, and it's crazy. It's crazy how powerful this can be. I'm going to write this down as well. See, the first 90 minutes of hardcore work, this is the difference between the so-called average and the most successful people on the planet. Now, 4 years back when I started this entire journey, the journey of really acknowledging how can I make the most of every single day. Here's what I identified. You keep everything aside. You don't even touch your phone. You don't go through social media till you are done with your 90 minutes of hardcore work. And in fact, even another mentor of mine, Robin Sharma, acknowledges in his book, The 5 a.m. Club, this 90-91 formula. 90-91, meaning if you want to be an expert in a field, you focus on the first 90 minutes of your day consecutively for 90 days on just that one thing you want to be an expert on. When I ask myself this question, what do I really want to be an expert on? What do I really want? I mean, right now, I'm sure you might have asked yourself the question. We will be opening it up at the end, I think, after we are done with today's training. When I ask myself, what do I specifically want? I'm obviously gearing up with understanding what are the tools that I have, but I'll just show it to you directly so that it's not just, I mean, obviously you all are family, so there's no such thing as hiding. The first thing that I would want is I would want to know how can I speak effectively, learn how to train effectively, really create hardcore content so that I can create and design more curriculums. And in order to do so, what are the tools that I have at my disposal? There you go. This is my Teachable. In my Teachable, everything that I need is there. So the first thing that I need is I need to speak effectively, for which I am a part of this community called as Fearless and Fluent English. Just look at the amount of stuff that is there with me right now. And then of course you have something called as the Speak and Grow membership. I mean, we all are a part of it, so we know. And this is going to teach me actually every single thing that I need to know in terms of public speaking, leadership, carving out content, and all those things. That's the first one. Now, if this particular thing is done for me, if it's a tick mark for me, then the second thing that I would want to know is how can I leverage this entire thing and create courses, my niche. What do I want to teach? Why do I want to teach? How can I design my entire online e-learning business? Isn't it? That's what is the next step. So in order to do so, obviously I would want to go to someone who's going to teach me that as well, because Speak and Grow is not giving me everything. So that's why what I will do is I'll go to this particular person. Okay, I got this online millionaire summit that took place a couple of just last year. And in this particular module, what they have done is they've actually taught step by step on what are the different forms of being a millionaire online, step by step, conducting interviews with the best on the planet, best in the country, and then putting it all together. All these things are explained over here. In fact, there's a whole step by step 20-day blueprint on how to really carve your digital marketing and all those kind of stuff, which means I have my tools and resources in order. You got to ask yourself what specifically it is that you want, and how can you carve out your resources and go all in. Like literally be that little student. Don't put any question marks, how I'm going to do it, how I'm not going to do it, what am I going to achieve, what am I not going to achieve. No, don't do that. For the next 90 days, commit to the process. Make it a habit, turn it into an obsession. Now, obviously, right now, I know that I have a huge advantage. My advantage is I don't have a job, which means the 8 hours of work that people are going to put in, I'm actually going to slog the 90 minutes plus another 8 hours every single day for the next 90 days. If I do that, then I know consistently I'm going to be getting results. I'm going to be putting myself into a position of authority. I'm going to be putting myself in a position of really pushing myself a little more. Now, mind you, this is the festive time, right? In another couple of days, the whole Christmas and the New Year and all these celebrations are going to begin. But I know I need to install my system in the next couple of days itself. Today is already the 18th, which means I just have 12 days to install that system deep inside of me. So you see how easy it is? Okay, next, when you're done with these particular things, then obviously I want you to really get into that hardcore 90 minutes of work. But these 90 minutes of work, you're going to be going through a proper pattern, a proper structure, very, very proper structure. You see, from Monday onwards, we are actually going to practice the entire thing. We are going to go through the whole process of 20 minutes of little workout. We'll probably dance a little bit, we'll move a little bit, all these crazy things we will do. But even before we do it, we really need to understand what are the mindset blocks that we have. That is our comfort zone. Okay, comfort zone. So right now, what I would do is I would actually just let one moment. I would actually insert a table. Let me see how much I can do it. Yeah, this looks pretty good. So I'll just okay, and then let's just say the timing. Okay, now the first thing that you want to put in is sleep. This whole thing, I like to call it as a tracking your patterns. Today, what I would want you to do is I would want you to actually break down these particular patterns. How much time do you invest in each of your tasks in a day? Find out. Until and unless we know where we are spending time, we cannot grow, we cannot get better, the first thing is to track down what are we doing with our time. So for example, right now, if I'm asking myself, and this is again, this is a very interesting exercise. Okay, first you want to do is you want to put in your original, your timing right now. Okay, so your timing right now. The second thing you want to be putting in is your ideal timing. So for example, sleep. Right now I know my sleeping is haphazard, so I'm sleeping somewhere around 7 hours a day. Okay, but ideally back in Bangalore I used to sleep just 4 hours a day, and I used to be fulfilled with energy. I never had any problems. Smartphone use, I think if I just check right now, it probably yesterday it must have turned out to be somewhere around 8 hours. So I would actually don't want to spend more than 2 hours. Okay, and then of course I got my all the patterns. Like the here's what I would do: wake up and identify all the things that you do. For example, food is a big thing in my place right now. We end up spending somewhere around 3 hours for food, but ideally I would actually try to turn it down into 1 hour. So I need to find ways in which I need to spend less time on food so that I can focus on productivity a lot more. And then, of course, there's a big one. Let's just say work. So for work, most people, it'll be like 8 hours. But for me, right now, the whole work, obviously, it's going on for 10 hours. Ideal timing is 10 to 12 hours. Okay. But right now, I'm not working enough. I know. Maybe it can just also turn up to be 12 hours. Then you got all these things. Like every single week when you brainstorm, when you sit down, you have to ask yourself, like, how am I really using my time? That's the one thing that is common between all of us. Even Bill Gates has 24 hours, Tony Robbins has 24 hours, I have 24 hours. Now if Tony Robbins is a billionaire, like literally gazillionaire, I might say, I also want to be there. I need to know what are the things that he is doing that's working out for him. What are the things that I am not doing? That's when I'll get the difference, right? And we need momentum. That's another very big word, momentum. The only reason that we do not have momentum is because we are trying to play it easy. We play it easy because we suffer from something called as the tomorrow syndrome. Yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to read that book tomorrow. I'm going to go through the course tomorrow. I'm going to really fire myself up tomorrow. That's another very big problem that we all face. So your mindset obviously includes really keeping a track of all of these things. Now, setting tangible goals. So for example, today we are all going to go into a commitment, like a hardcore commitment of at least the one thing that we will be diving deep and we want to be going through, like hardcore. There's no excuses. You're going to have to make the most of it and really learn it properly. Maybe it could be something as simple as, okay, I'm going to find time to go through at least one Mind Valley talk every single day. At least, again, it's not every single day. It's just today and tomorrow. We're going to be meeting on Tuesday. So you're going to set some targets today that you can follow through today. And then you got Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday we are meeting. Tuesday when we meet, we want to be putting ourselves in a position where we can say, yes, Suryadeep, I've done it. So now you know the momentum has already kicked in. And then we are literally drafting in all the pieces together and following through. So mindset. Again, I'll just bring up the... Okay, so 90 minutes of hardcore work are identifying your learning pattern, finding the rituals that are out of your comfort zone, and of course, tracking your patterns. Okay. Tracking your patterns as in what would be that habit? What is your ideal? What is your timing right now? What is your ideal timing? What should be your ideal timing? Now, this having said, the next thing that we would want to literally nail down, and I would really want to acknowledge you to really inquire, what are the habits that serve you? Okay, what are the habits that serve you? What are the habits that destroy you? Meaning, a small little thing like, let's just say, for example, one of the habits that is destroying me is that I love to to hunt down the internet and find the most expensive online courses, download them and keep them with me safe and sound. I love it. Now you name the greatest of souls on the planet, people like Dan Locke and Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort, and all these kind of people. They sell their courses with some, I don't know how much, like 3.5, 4 lakhs. I can literally in a couple of clicks, I can find their entire courses and I can shove it out to you. That's something I enjoy. When I go to my house and I see my entire book collection, oh my God, it feels so good. I have some of the greatest self-help books on the planet, but the problem is they're not self-help for me, they're shelf-help for me. See the difference? I don't read them. Even if I read them, I don't just 100% follow through. I used to do it back in the past, but right now, for some reason, I'm not doing it. The problem with us is that we don't just talk about our habits, we actually end up defending ourselves. And we give excuses that I'm not following through because my wife is making me sleep. My kids are disturbing me. I'm not able to find time. My in-laws want the food to be hot. I mean, seriously, if you want to make hot food for your in-laws, go get a microwave. Seriously. I mean, you see the whole point, like how it runs. I mean, if you really are obsessed with creating the best version of yourself, the first thing that, at least for me, I don't know about you all, but the first habit that destroys me, it has to be excuses. The second habit is procrastination. Okay. The third habit is lack of follow through. Lack of follow through. That's another crazy thing. Number 4 is momentum. I don't have a proper momentum kicking in. So that these are habits that, okay, the 5th one would be smartphone. Smartphone is a big one. Now, smartphone in terms of what? This is another very interesting thing, okay? See, I got my phone right now. Yesterday at night, somewhere around, I think after 9 o'clock, I had my mentor calling me twice. Now, that's not how it works with mentors. When mentors call you, you better pick up the call because it's important. But I have this principle in my whole list that I'll not pick up any calls after 9 o'clock. Not done. You call me between the working hours. After working hours, I'm busy. I don't really want to pick up calls. Have you set such demarcations for yourself? So I remember when I was at home, my brother used to tell me, how come you're so relaxed? Like, your boss is, I remember I had joined a particular medical tourism company, okay, as a senior executive. So the job was paying me somewhere around 23,000 a month. And I got fired within the first 15 days. Can you believe that? 15 days, fired, thrown out. The boss calls me up and says, Suryadeep, your vision and perspectives are a lot different than the company's. Why don't you just move on? And I didn't understand back then whether I was like, what did she even mean? So I asked my professor. Hello, Yogi, what does this mean? Surya, my dear, you are fired. Okay, good. The boss calls me up, the CEO of the company calls me up and he's telling me, don't you have any regrets? I said, sir, regrets of what? You're giving me 23,000 a month at the end of a month. If I conduct a good webinar, I can earn 23,000 from just one client. But the whole point is, the only reason why all these things started out, because I was not picking his calls after 5 p.m. And I'm telling him pretty straight up, sir, I'm working for you from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 p.m. in the evening. Why will I receive your call if it's 5:01? That's a working principle again, isn't it? But how many of us follow this? In fact, right now, if our boss calls up, the first thing we'll do is we'll leave everything and we'll receive the call and we'll talk. That's how it is, right? But we want to set such principles for ourselves. Again, Tony Robbins says, principles define freedom. You want to write this down. Principles define freedom. It's the rules that you set for yourself that in the long run creates that dynasty for you, creates that that whole beast mindset. It creates that whole stability for you. So identify that, figure that out. Okay. Now, so far, again, I'll just walk you through so far what. So habits that destroy you, habits that serve you. So for me, habits that serves me, that will definitely be, just one moment. Okay. So
Like, Surya, may I ask one question?
yes, yeah.
Like, whatever you are saying, it's absolutely right. Okay. Like, even we also think like we will do, but sometimes after doing one day or maybe after 1 month, we feel like sometimes we feel that, okay, I'm not able to do, or maybe we give excuses. Like, why this happens?
Yeah, that's what. So then in the second part, I'm actually gonna cover the whole thing up, so you don't have to worry about it. This
Sure.
is another. That's why I think it's all about. This is something that again I just go through every single thing when it comes to, like I said, right? We don't want to set up resolutions. We want to set up rituals. The only thing, the thin demarcation between resolutions and rituals is that a resolution is a should. I should wake up in the morning. I should be eating healthy. I should go through my yoga classes. I should read that book. If it's a ritual, it's an absolute must. So you want to change into a should and must, because all these years we've been going through a lot of shoulds, and I might sound a little gross, but we actually end up shoulding all over ourselves, literally. We don't want that. So we're going to be turning all those things into a must. That's another very integral part of today's session in particular. Okay, so we're going to get that answers solved for you as well. Right. So we're going to get straight into our the habits that serve you, the habits that destroy you. So I remember a very good habit that serves me is my resiliency. That's a very interesting habit that I have. The second would be, just really being unique. That's a very, very interesting habit. Like, I don't want to be like most people. I'm 25 years old. I don't want to get a 9 to 5 job. I want to rather create the monthly income in just 1 or 2 webinars, so that I can just focus on working on myself. Another thing that I have is I have this focus and concentration, and I got my flow state as well. I can go on creating hardcore content. Like, in one day, I can do so much that people will have problems in doing in a week. These are my hardcore habits. Now, here's the problem that most of us face. Okay, we are obsessed with perfection syndrome. Like, we want to be perfect all the time. That's the second thing that we want to learn about ourselves. Perfection syndrome. We want to be the perfect wife, the perfect partner, the perfect teacher, the perfect student, and all those things. We want to be perfect with every single thing that we do, and we end up literally doing nothing, because that one little thing that we do not do properly, we end up cursing ourselves. We get in the guilt loop. Oh my God, I should have done better. Oh my God, I should have really worked hard, and all those things. It's crazy how the pattern works. But we want to be in a position to focus on progression rather than perfection. Progression and not perfection. So when you're putting yourself in all these patterns, habits that serve you, habits that do not, understand and acknowledge that it's all about putting the pieces together. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And every single day you're going to get better. That's how it is, right? Now, these are the ingredients of setting up your mindset. But as we all know, let's just say if I want to turn on a bulb, I need to click on a switch, right? In order to really make sure that the mindset is working for us, we're going to go through the next 3 days with an experiment. A very simple experiment. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to just follow through on this experiment just for today and tomorrow, not more than that. Just today and tomorrow. That's all that you need to do. You don't have to do it for the rest of your life. No, just follow it today and tomorrow. What I want you to do is ask yourself, we have 3 components in us, right? We have the mind, we have the body, we have the soul. Actually, let me just put up a table so that it becomes easy for me to follow through. Yeah, so okay, perfect. So let me just say mind. I'll just bold it up so it becomes easy. Mind, I got my body, and then I got my soul, right? Just one moment. Yeah, there you go. So I want to know from you is, if our being includes these three elements, the mind, body, and soul, how are we feeding this? How are we feeding the three components of our existence, for just for today and tomorrow? That's it, just for today and tomorrow. So I want to ask you, let's just say, if, okay, this particular process we're also going to be going through in a very organized manner. So let me first put this up in gallery mode, and let me ask you all this so that I can get to know a little better. Do we all eat every day? Why? Give me some answers. Why do we eat every day? Yeah, please unmute yourself and answer me. Why do we eat every day?
To have energy.
Energy, okay. Anything else? Yes.
Because it's why do I eat thrice a day? Because my mother fed me thrice a day, and I don't have any other option but to just like, it's my mindset. Okay, morning, wake up, brush, eat. 1 o'clock, eat. Again, night, dinner, eat, and then sleep. So if I don't eat and go for sleep, I feel like, oh, I missed something.
Habitual patterns. I need to eat every single day. Any other answers? Why do we eat?
I can say it's a ritual. Like from the day when I was born, that day onwards, mom is like, she says that get up, eat, then again lunch, then dinner every day.
Look at that word that Bina ma'am just used, right? It's a ritual, which means it's a must. It's a must. Okay, do we brush our teeth every day?
Yes.
Why?
We do. Again, the same thing, we have to. Otherwise, like, we are going to get scoldings, right?
Yeah. The first thing that we're taught to us is
Brush your
my
teeth.
mother, my dad, in fact, he said, wake up, first brush, and then only, we'll give you something. You are not eating without brushing. And then again go to eat. So this is something which is very...
Yeah. This is interesting, right? Okay. Let's take one more example. What example can recreation. Do we all go through our smartphones? Do we all at least have been through one movie in our life? Have we been through at least one web series in some way or the other? At least heard of it? At least watched a set of cartoons? Why? Give me some answers.
Brain wants some. For me,
Yeah, Tinko ma'am, yes.
Because of fun, we need some entertainment in our life.
Entertainment. So brain needs entertainment. And again, you go through, in spite of being so busy, you still find time. Because it is, again, another ritual for you. It's a must. So what I am doing in this entire process is to not really open up on the patterns that we have, but also really trying to acknowledge the difference between a should and a must. My question to you is, if brushing is an absolute must for you, feeding your mind should also be an absolute must for you. I want you to put yourself in that state of asking yourself, how can I turn my should into an absolute must? How can I turn my should into an absolute must in terms of these three categories: my mind, my body, my soul? And install these patterns, install these rituals, not for life. No, install these rituals just for today and tomorrow, and see how it works out. If it works out good, keep it. If it doesn't, throw it into the bin. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to write my answers, And I want you all to be open enough and write down your answers as well. So for mind, what I will do is, just one moment. I'll just temporarily spotlight myself a little bit. So for the mind, what I will do is I will go through, let's just say, one book a week. Okay. And let me just start with the book that I have it pending, The Richest Man in Babylon. I'm going to spend 1 hour a day for this. 1 hour a day. I'm going to spend time for a book. That's going to be feeding the mind. In fact, my mentor, my brain coach, Jim Quick, he tells a brilliant thing. He says, if you go to the gym to work out your muscles, you got to read, because it's the gym for your mind. Reading is the gym for your mind. So you got to be in a position of really reading hardcore. So that's the habit that I'm going to install just for today and tomorrow. Again, not for life, not for life. I'm just going to do it for today and tomorrow. So that would be the first ritual that I'm going to be putting in for the mind. See, I'm not putting in too much. The second thing for the body, what I will go through is I'm going to go through just 20 minutes of light jogging, followed by 20 minutes of basic workouts. How do I do it? Well, there's an app in Play Store. If you go to Google Play Store, you'll find a lot of home workout this thing. So just choose the basics thing and just get started. So that's what probably I'll do today. 20 minutes of workout and follow 20 minutes of jogging, because I need to feel nature. I mean, in fact, right now the color of the sky, I think I just observed, it's just beautiful. That's got red and orange and all these kind of crazy colors. So I just want to observe nature. So for me, another amazing thing here, see how beautiful it is. One particular exercise can actually do a lot of things. When I'm going out for that jogging, I'm actually feeding my mind, because nature walk is a phenomenal resource for opening your mindset and opening your productivity. And that also feeds my soul. So nature walk feeds my soul. And for the soul, I'm actually going to go through 3 meditation rituals, like an absolute must. If brushing is important for me today and tomorrow, I'm going to go through these 3 meditation rituals. I'm going to have my morning will be priming ritual. And okay, first of all, I want to apologize. I did not send you the rituals today. I'll be putting it up in the Telegram channel. Okay, the 3 meditation rituals. You can try it out and you're going to enjoy it perfectly. Okay, so okay, morning, my priming ritual. So afternoon will be my afternoon. I want to go through the Wim Hof plus 6-phase meditation. 6-phase meditation ritual. And night, before sleep, I will go through the forgiveness ritual. How many believe that forgiveness works wonders, especially when you start with yourself? And see the beauty, okay? When I'm asking these kind of questions, we are all raising our hands, which means we know this is important for us. The only reason we are not following through is because it's not a must. So you get the idea? We want to make sure that these are the things that are absolute must for ourselves. Now, how much time does it take? If we can spend somewhere around 7 to 8 hours on a cell phone, I'll just consciously keep it aside for 2 hours. I'll slog my ass off and I'll literally do all these exercises. And I'm literally going to be seeing that I'm going to work wonders. Okay. There's another thing that I would want to do in order to feed my mind. That is my journaling. Journaling is a phenomenal tool. Every single day, I want to journal about my goals. I want to journal about what are the good things that I did. I want to journal about my to-do list. All those things I will do. So you see, that is all that I'm going to include. That's all. I'm not putting in too much of pressure on myself. Again, a lot of mistakes. I remember this is what happened when I watched the entire Date with Destiny program by Tony Robbins. What he will do is he'll make you do it. And he's going to perfect your life. He's going to strategize your life to the T. Every single dime they're going to strategize. But my point is, why do you want to over pressurize yourself on having that perfect routine? Why? Focus on that 1 or 2 very, very little things and just follow it through. That's it. In fact, how many people have heard of Netflix? All of us have heard of Netflix. Okay. How many have heard of GAIA.com? No one. You have? Okay, good. GAIA.com is the Netflix of spirituality and consciousness. I'm just going to show you the see, now I'm literally teaching you, okay? I'm literally teaching you on how to get access to the greatest of tools on the planet in a snap of a finger. Okay, I'm going to teach you that. GAIA.com. Let me first of all just put this in the chat so that you all can just have the thing with you. Yeah, there you go. So if you look at this, GAIA offers the largest online resource of consciousness expanding videos, over 8,000 informative, enlightening films, original shows, yoga, meditation, and stuff. Now, obviously, it's a paid platform. And here you got stuff that is going to help you really understand yourself, how to become a superhuman, becoming nobody, third eye species, healing your body, yoga, meditation classes. Some of the greatest souls on the planet conduct sessions over here. Okay. Now see how easy it is. We all have Telegram. We all have Telegram. Okay. If we all have Telegram, what I went and I did is I went to Telegram and then I just typed here GAIA. See what is coming. GAIA English official videos full, 5,800 subscribers. Okay, let me see when I go here. What do I have? Oh, you know what? Brilliant. I have every single GAIA videos available. So what I can do is, instead of binge watching on Netflix, just check this out. This is the whole series. Every single thing that has ever been created in GAIA.com, the list is out here. I'll probably share this list with you in the Telegram group. But my point is, can we replace Netflix with documentaries that serve us? This is also entertainment, right? We want to get some relaxation. But my point is, why just limit relaxation only to feed the senses? We want to use relaxation to feed our mind, feed our body, feed our soul, make it a win-win situation in all the three aspects of our life. So just choose what are the things that you can watch that can actually help you serve more, actually help you get better. Okay, so that's the whole point. Today's highlight, and again, we have to thank Bina ma'am for the question. We know we want to do something, but we find excuses, we procrastinate because it's a should and not a must. It's a should and not a must. So focus on your musts. And what you will want to do is you will want to create your own unique list for your mind, body, and soul, feeding it, following through just today and tomorrow. Don't do it forever. No, just do it today and tomorrow. You're going to track your patterns. You're going to understand your mindset blocks, your comfort zone. You're going to focus on your learning pattern, following the podcasts, the books, the courses, rituals, and all those things, right? And in fact, the best way to get started, this is the weekend happening, right? Just give yourself the permission to start with something big. For example, me and Yogeshwari, we have decided we are actually going to be we're going to actually put our asses down and go through the entire Speak and Grow courses to get started. Now, Rakesh sir, are you a member of Speak and Grow? Yeah, you are also a member of Speak and Grow. So all of us present here are members of Speak and Grow, right? Let's just take up that challenge. The best way to get started today and tomorrow. Now, here's the beauty, okay? This is another secret. Although this video is going public in YouTube, but that's okay. Praveen sir will speak a little slow. Most of his expressions, if you look at it, I mean, I love mimicking. I feel mimicry is a form of admiration. So when Praveen sir is conducting a session, his body language will be like, ladies and gentlemen, this is Praveen Vadalkar signing out. Until we meet again. Something like that. Very slow, he'll speak. So what I will do is, now with the Brainy Family app available, I'll actually download the Brainy Family app and I'm going to see how much I can go through in a day, 90 minutes a day, watching Praveen sir's classes in 2.5x speed. 2.5x speed. Why 2.5x speed? Because again, my brain coach, Jim Quick, has literally taught us focus goes where energy flows. You may want to write this down. Focus goes where energy flows, which means in order to make sure that my brain is active, I need to do something that is going to improve my focus. Best way to improve my focus is to really fasten the pace. In fact, I listen to audiobooks in 3x speed. I go through courses. I go through Tony Robbins' course in 2x speed. I mean, I remember one day Yogeshwari was telling me, what are you doing? Are you even able to understand anything? Because normally if Tony Robbins is already full of energy, and imagine 2x the same energy. Yeah, you got to be going into momentum and action step. All you have to do is just do the things that I'm telling you to do, and all this thing. It's crazy. The beauty is that my brain is more open. So I'm actually conditioning my brain to absorb more knowledge in lesser period of time, and I'm getting more work done. So since we're all from Speak and Grow, can we just commit to ourselves that 90 minutes a day, the learning, let's unanimously decide that we're going to go hardcore into going through the whole Praveen sir's challenge. We're probably going to start from the 21-day challenge itself, move to the, of course, we are meeting next on Tuesday. So by the time a lot of things will get over, 21-day challenge, I think there are 6 perpetual workshops, 10 advanced workshops. Then by any chance, if you're done with all these things, you go through public speaking masterclass, business storytelling masterclass, and start making videos. So for all those of you who are here, please do, at the end of this, the first thing you need to do, in fact, me and Yogeshwari, that's what we did, right? We are going for a walk, we're making that video, and we're putting it in Speak and Grow. Carving your legacy day 2. Put up that video, tag us, me and Yogeshwari, tag us, so that people in the group as well will get to know, okay, we are putting in the work, we're slogging our ass off, we are getting our things ready. Okay, so just to summarize whatever we have discussed so far, today was all about hardcore mindset. Mindset defining how do we feed our minds. The way we learned is through podcast, learning from the best on the planet, downloading decades of information in days. So we learned 2 resources from that. One is Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu. You're going to find that on YouTube. Mind Valley Talks, you're going to find that on YouTube. Okay, documentary series or Feeding the Body, Mind, Body and Soul, GAIA.com, put up the resource there. And then, of course, Telegram, you're going to find it in Telegram. We have our 3 meditation rituals, Tony Robbins priming exercise. You got Wim Hof plus 6-phase meditation. I'm going to put it, I'll put this up in the group today itself, all the resources as well as the meditation rituals, so that you don't have to find anywhere. Just it'll be there in the premium mastermind group, the group you all are a part of. And then 3rd is called as the forgiveness ritual. I'll be putting it up there as well. The number 4, what we found out is we need to find out the habits that serve us, the habits that destroy us. Okay. The only reason why we excuse ourselves and procrastinate and go through tomorrow syndrome and perfection syndrome, because our habits are a should and not a must. So we want to go hardcore kick-ass just to follow through the things that serves us today and tomorrow. We also nailed down an entire pattern, a pattern of identifying how much time do we spend in every single thing. We're going to go back today. We're going to identify, literally brainstorm, what are the things in our life that we spend most time on. We decide what is the time that we spend and what is the ideal time that we want to spend. So we know where do we stand, where we are. Okay. And at the same time, we want to track our time for the next 72 hours. Make sure that you're tracking every single thing. If you're eating food, are you eating food in 15 minutes or you're spending 45 minutes? Just track your time, observe. When you keep a schedule of it, it is a huge eye opener, big time. And at the same time, we created a list. How are we feeding our mind? How are we feeding our body? How are we feeding our soul? Decide on that whole process of how you can put it all together. For example, I know that going up to the terrace in the evening for a sunset feeds my mind because it opens it up. Feeds my body because I'm walking a little bit, I'm breathing fresh air. Feeds my soul because I'm looking at the sunset, and the sunset is so beautiful, so gorgeous. It's one work, one ritual which feeds all the three elements, right? And at the same time, 90-91, we want to commit the first 90 minutes of our work doing that one thing that we want to learn for the next 90 days to become an expert in it. Okay, so that's overall what we wanted to discuss. Now we will open up for questions, for reflections, for sharing. What I would also want you to do, if you have any questions, obviously ask, but commit to that one task you're going to be doing right now, not tomorrow, not at the end of the day, right now at the end of the session. Commit to that one thing. Okay, each and every one of us will be sharing. Since Bina ma'am has raised her hand, we'll start with Bina ma'am. Yes, over to you.
See, sometimes what happens, like if no one is there in my house, okay, I'm all alone. So the rituals or the plans which I made, I can I accomplish that. But whenever I find like people are coming to my house, visiting, okay, guests, and for a couple of days or week, you can say, and I go off the track. This happens, and then after 1 week, when again I have to restart that particular schedule, or you can say the ritual, I feel like, oh my god, like how to start, or what should I, how to begin again. Because sometimes, for example, I'm working out, like for example doing exercises every day, and for 5 to 10 days I was not able to, because of some guest, I have to work, I have to cook. And then when I begin again after 10 days, what happens? I feel like a kind of body pain, and then not feeling like to do it. So like this is the problem. So how I can overcome?
Okay, yeah. So the very first thing, okay, that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting it on your face right now that it's an excuse.
Yeah,
Guests coming in your house, first of all, is an excuse, which means, again, your persistence with your ritual gets overpowered by the excuse that guests are in my house. This is a very critical point again, okay? It's again coming down to mindset. I have a set of rituals which I know is an absolute must for me. So, okay, in order to just be more open, I want to ask you this, Bina ma'am. Even if guests are there, do you still continue to brush?
yeah,
Yeah, you do, right? So you see how it works, right? It's all in the mindset in terms of the kind of, what is that word? What is that word? Wait. The kind of, what is that thing? Like you need to do it, like absolute thing. It starts with a P. I'm not able to remember the word. It's like priority. Yeah. The priority. So for you, no matter whether one person is there, 100 people are there, if brushing is a priority, you need to ask yourself, how can I make my exercise ritual a priority? Here's what I would do when I was in Bangalore. You see, in Bangalore, when I was in my hostel, all the hostel students, especially in this particular time, Saturday, Sunday and all, they would drink, they would smoke their lungs out, and everybody would be out screaming, shouting, doing whatnot. I would go to sleep somewhere around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night, because so much of noise, wouldn't be able to sleep. In fact, seniors would walk up to our floors and they would rag us and all those things. And guess what? How did I use that? How did I leverage it to work on my rituals? Sunday morning, when the whole hostel is sleeping till 11 a.m. in the morning, I would actually sleep for just 1 hour. I would finish my morning ritual and then go to sleep. See, because I wanted to maintain that momentum. So mindset, momentum, and massive action. When you really make it a must, you're going to be doing it. So the question that instead, you're asking me a question like, if guests are here, how do I do it? The question that you actually should be asking yourself, even if guests are here, how can I do it? The moment you ask yourself that question, again, Tony Robbins says these questions are the answers. The kind of questions you ask yourself, your brain is going to come up with creative answers. So if guests are here, what I would do is I'd actually wake up an hour earlier and I would finish my rituals and then go about spending time with my guests. That's a phenomenal way that it does. Again, another very important thing is all we need to focus on is today and tomorrow. If today you're doing the exercise, you better do it fucking tomorrow. You don't make it an excuse. If you're doing it tomorrow, the same thing you say to yourself, and then it's going to turn into a habit. Most often we feel like, oh my God, guests are here now. Next week, I think we'll be having some guests in our house, in my house. Does that mean I'm going to stop? No, I'll probably slog their ass off, get them up and make them go out with me to enjoy the magic of my routine. Who knows? They might get inspired. They might actually follow me. See how magically it works. It's just like that ripple effect, domino effect. So that's how it works wonders. Okay. So yeah, who else? Come on, just share. Okay, this is the time when you have to just literally tell me what is the one thing that you're going to be following through. So Bina ma'am, the fact that you've asked a question, we also want to know from you, what is that one thing you'll be following through today and tomorrow? That's it.
I'm just planning to make videos in SAG. And Suryadeep, if you could just tell me like any good course which I can do.
Any good course?
Course, yeah.
Okay. First question is, have you been through all the Speak and Grow material?
Speak and Go material in the sense that 21-day course.
21-day course. I think there are somewhere more than 600 videos, 100 hours of content in Speak and Grow. Have you been through all of them?
No.
No.
Actually, I didn't know about it. Like,
okay, so here's what I know. Okay, I've been through the entire Speak and Grow modules 5 times in the last 1.5 years. 5 times. And what I've learned is that repetition is the mother of all skills. Repetition is the mother of all skills. So the best thing to do is, if we really want to set in the momentum, it's like, I still remember when I was watching the Freedom Program course in Speak and Grow for the 3rd time. That's what gave me the insight on how to design a webinar. Okay, so the best thing to do is, we are all familiar with Speak and Grow. Let's start going through the same itself. All the further courses that you need and all those things, you will get all the resources. You don't have to worry about it. But the things that we already have with us, let's just dive deep. Let's just go through that. So 21-day challenge, we got our, that 6 per, I'll just show you. I don't know whether you have the teachable access or not.
No, after 21 days video, I'm not getting anything. That is the problem.
Okay. So just download that Brainy Families app.
Okay.
In that Brainy Families app, I think you'll have the access there itself. Brainy Families is what you cannot go through in laptop. You have to go through cell phone. So they've just changed the entire thing. And Praveen sir has actually updated his entire courses there. So just go through the Brainy Families app courses. You'll get all of those things there. Okay. That's what you would want to get started in terms of courses. And another thing, I think I'll actually put this up in our resources as well. When I was in Bangalore, I had started these 2, I would say, learn-a-thon. That's what I like to call learn-a-thon. It's more of just like a hackathon for your mind. Again, first is for your brain. We spoke about it, right? Mind, body, and soul. So my body is taken care of when I'm doing those little exercise ritual. The best way to do exercise is, don't make it an exercise, make it entertainment. Put on some music and just dance. That's it. That's all the movement that your body needs. Continue to dance. Dance makes you feel so good. In fact, we'll probably try it from today, huh? Okay. So okay. For the mind, there are 2 podcasts that I'll recommend. One is called as the Quick Brain Podcast. Wait, let me see if I can find that for you. Let me see, just 1 second. Quick Brain playlist. Yeah, there you go. Quick Brain Podcast.
Welcome to Quick Brain, bite size.
Yeah, just 1 moment. Yeah, I'll put it up in the chat. And I'll actually put these resources right now. As soon as the thing gets over, I'll put it up in the Telegram group. So this is a big one. Quick Brain Podcast by Jim Quick. Just 15 minutes, max to max 10 to 15 minutes every day. You learn a technique for your brain. You learn how to read faster, learn faster, remember names and all those things. Second would be the Personal Mastery Academy podcast by Robin Sharma. It's again in YouTube. Okay, so you just need to type Personal Mastery Academy, or wait, I'll give you the link. Don't worry about it. Another 15 to 20 minutes max. So what you're doing is you're actually feeding the brain every single day. So ideally, what my routine will be is I'll go through at least one Mind Valley talk or impact theory podcast, like interview episode. You may also go for On Purpose by Jay Shetty. That's also another thing. I'll just put it up in the group. On Purpose by Jay Shetty. Very powerful. He is also interviewing the best on the planet. Then you got your GAIA episodes, documentary stuff you want to watch, Quick Brain for your brain, and you got your personal mastery for your entire system. That's what you want to include in your stuff. So that, I think that's pretty powerful. These are the resources that I've used. I'm still using, so I need to get into the whole rhythm. Okay.
Yeah, could you please share the link?
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that in the group itself. Don't worry about it. Okay. But again, a commitment. Okay, Veena ma'am told us she's going to be making sad videos. That's a very good thing. Very powerful stuff. It changes your life. I mean, the only reason I'm trying to put at least something or the other in Speak and Grow so that the momentum stays. Okay, what about others? Come on. Rakesh sir, Tinku ma'am. Yeah, Tinku ma'am, we'll start with you first. Yes.
I've started with jogging and running.
Okay.
And now I'm also doing exercises for 15 minutes.
Okay.
I have started doing meditation for 20 minutes.
Okay.
So I just wish that I continue with all this thing. And I just spend 10 minutes in reading book. So I want to increase that time gradually. And that's what I want to continue at least for a week.
Yes. Again, the whole point is today and tomorrow. That's all. Today and tomorrow. And here's another thing. Now that you mentioned book reading, Tinku ma'am, I think, have you made any calculations as such that if you read for 45 minutes a day, one book, you can finish it within a week. One book a week you can finish within 45 minutes a day. So
can you just suggest me one thing? What about that speed reading and all? Does it really help? Because I try to do that, but I get messed up. I'm not able to get the stuff.
Speed reading, if you're learning the techniques, no, it's so powerful. I mean, my reading speed right now is 600 to 650 words per minute. I want to take it up to 1,000 words per minute. I'm waiting for the read, write, and speak sessions to start in Speak and Grow. So that's speed reading works wonders. And the best part is that when you're reading, no, there's a difference between reading to learn and reading to read. Ideally, we should read to read because that's what is helping your mind to open up. It's not just about learning. I mean, see, learning, what we do, we're reading a book and we want to repeat it over and over again so that we want to learn the whole process. But the reading that we want to follow as a ritual, it's not just about reading the concepts, learning it and all those things, but being open. So that's another very big thing. In fact, a lot of people will say that we should start with non-fiction. But what I recommend is that you actually start with fiction to get yourself ingrained with the process of and habit of speed reading. Fiction is so simple. It's a story. So you can literally speed read. You can still absorb more. And ideally, this is a big one. For those of you who want to really read fiction, but teach you, learn lessons, go for Paulo Coelho's books. Paulo Coelho or Robin Sharma. These are the top two I'd recommend. It's super powerful stuff, loads to learn, and great quality writing. So
sometimes what I feel like, even I'm in love with reading books, but the books which I read, like sometimes 2 or 3 pages initially, the first 2-3 page, and if I don't find interest, then I leave that book. I don't know why. And the book which I really like, that only I read.
True, that actually happens. And in fact, again, this is another very important point, Veena ma'am, now that you put up. Everything that we do it either for either of the two things. Number one, to gain pleasure. Number two, to avoid pain. To gain pleasure or avoid pain. That's the only thing that we do. Eating, yesterday, myself and Yogeshwari, we celebrated her TEDx with biryani, pizza, pani puri, cold drink, chocolava cake. And we just missed out on the garlic breadsticks. Today in the morning when I woke up, I excreted pizza. Okay, so we ate because we wanted to have that pleasure. But ideally, today morning when we are going to be eating oats, we know it's eating for fuel. So the same thing happens for reading as well. When you are reading, whether you like it or not, if you're liking it or not, if your brain is telling you, then it turns into pleasure. But in order to counterbalance pressure, you need to go through the pain, because at the end of the day, the reading is for fuel, right? You want to feed your mind. That's how it is. So, but good. Let's give it up for Bina ma'am and Tinku ma'am for the thing. We'll first go to Rakesh, sir. Yeah, I'm looking to hear from you, sir.
Yes, actually, I wanted to learn a few lessons to teach aspirants to be a gazetted officer of my office, so that they can become an officer in our organization. So I had held a webinar sort of things, inviting expert from my organization as a colleague. So I want to get into the second webinar, where I would be speaking, and I would make that content and read the books or the material which is required, which is beneficial to them. So I will study for those part in this week.
Okay, this is powerful stuff. Amazing. So you see the whole process of really setting stuff, and it actually starts getting you results. Okay. Yeah, Yogeshwari, what about you?
Okay, one thing that I wanted to learn for 90 days and 90 minutes is upgrade my English language skills, which I've already started with 3 beautiful souls. So again, this kind of a commitment we have with them every alternative days. I think if I stick to that, it's nothing. It's not that I have to do anything else. I have to stick to that. Along with them, I should also grow, not just teaching, but learning. If I teach them 100%, I have to learn 200%. And I think by the end of 90 days, I will master English.
Welcome to Quick Brain, bite-sized brain hacks.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, this is brilliant. Okay. Let's give it up for Yogeshwari. Brilliant. To be able to really upskill yourself, that's a massive thing. Okay. One more little surprise that I have for you. A couple of weeks back, a very dear friend of mine had given me a gift called as the Life Book. How many have heard of that? Life Book? No. Okay. Few of you. I'll be giving you an entire link in the group, in which is more of a 90-minute training. 90-minute training on how to design your life from someone who has actually created that entire system. It's they sell the entire program for $4,000. So you're going to get a sneak peek of what specifically they will do. In the entire weekend, by the next time that we meet, we're going to be meeting on Tuesday again, sharp at 6 o'clock. I want you to just find some time and go through this entire 90-minute webinar, the 90-minute training. Observe how the best on the planet has manifested the life of their dreams. Okay, so all these resources, I'll be putting it up in the group itself. Make sure that you are making a video in Speak and Grow and literally tagging us. The commitment that you're taking, the aha moments that you're getting from these sessions, and at the same time, how do you foresee 2022? It's going to be life-changing for all of us, that's for sure. And the way we are designing our mindset and carving out momentum, there's no way we can stop ourselves, right? So let's promise to go hardcore. Yeah, Yogeshwari.
People say ripple effect. Okay, I was thinking, let's create a web effect. So what is a web effect? Ripple effect is I'm doing something, you are getting inspired, you are doing. Someone is getting inspired and that person is doing. Let's create our Carving Our Legacy team, create a web effect. Let's create a video, tag all of us. Okay, tag all of us and make that accountability strong. So Bina ma'am was asking, if people come to my house, I am skipping that and how to continue. If you really want to continue, you need a strong accountability partner. If you think that, okay, if I'm going to wake up because that person will wait for me. Yes, so let's create a web effect. Even I and Surya, we will be making 2 different videos. I'll not be, combining with him. I'll be making my separate video and I'll be tagging you all. Which means 15 days we have created that strong web the spider's web is very strong. If the insects comes in, it cannot go out. So that strong we should make, and we should really make this bond and leverage it to our own growth. So if we have that accountability to each of us, I think that whatever we want, we can do it. So Beena ma'am, to answer your question, even if your relatives are there, if I am going to tell you, Beena ma'am, where are you? I'm waiting for you. You have no other choice but to wake up and join.
Yeah, true. Okay, with that, let's take a quick little photo so that we can use this also for our this thing. Okay, so give me that V sign, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, yeah, done. Amazing. Thank you so much. Amazing spending time. Day 2 was sensational. Let's go on hardcore action mode right now. I'm going to see you in on Tuesday sharp at 6 a.m. We're going to dive deep into every